welcome to the kitchen. We're going to do some grilling tonight. But, this being Japan, gotta get some rice going. I normally eat brown rice. My wife prefers white rice, so we mix it up. This is kilograms of rice. So usually you get a 1 to 5 or 10 kilo bag. This kind of cup comes with it. I just do up to the top. It's not super scientific. I do not remember what type of rice this is. Koshihikari, maybe? But let the washing commence. And Japanese sinks usually look like this. You have a little rack here to hold things. And this kind of drainage situation. I thought that was a little interesting when I first moved here. I hadn't seen anything quite like it. There's a little basket under here that collects the debris. And we're just going to wash this until it's a little bit clear. And by agitating it, we're going to get some of that free starch off of it. But anyway, there's a little net in there. You don't have to put a net in there, but it makes cleaning it a lot nicer. And they just sell the nets at the 100 yen store, like the dollar store in the US. At Poundland or something like that, I guess, if you're in the UK. And yeah, you can just toss the whole thing. I'm trying to find if there are any that sell compostable bags, because the ones that I find usually contain like polyester and such. And I don't think synthetic fibers are great for the compost bin. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong on that. Not super hopeful on that front. I also need to reconfigure my compost situation, which we will get to soon enough. It's not an immediate concern. I hate throwing away things I could be composting, but I need to get food in the ground. Or, well, future food in the ground. And that is number one priority. And just house stuff that needs to be done. Yeah, that's probably good. There are uses for this water. I don't particularly need it with the things that I already have. Some people use it in cleaning. You can use it a few different ways. So, you will see. Will you see? You will see. There are numbers here, and that's how many cups. And this is Hakumai white rice. So we're just going to go a bit less than the 2. I have it at an angle, so it's not going to sit. But yeah, that cup is a standard size. This is a standard size. And so, let the rice cooker sing the song of its people. And in 54, I think, minutes, 64 minutes, we will have rice. In the meantime, we can do a little extra, a little different prep. I guess we could zoom out a little bit here, because I'm going to need the sink. So, Costco is my friend, because meat tends to be expensive in Japan. We have salmon. I tend to buy like a whole side of salmon and then portion and freeze it. As I go on, the portioning gets lazier and the portions get bigger. Steak, the cheapest steak that they had at Costco. And Canadian pork loin, which is usually on sale. This is 118 grams with tax it is 118 yen with tax per 100 grams. These still don't have the price tag on them, so I can't remember. But more expensive than a lot of countries. But what you gonna do? I'm gonna clean my counter a little bit. That's what I'm gonna do. So, I like to use, speaking of Costco, like a Montreal steak rub on both the pork and the beef. My wife likes it as well. So that's what we're gonna do today. First, we are just going to open things up. I just have a fairly cheap vacuum sealer. When it dies, I think I'll upgrade to a much nicer one because it does have its faults, but you know, for the small amount of money that I paid for it, it's fine. We will wash them off in a moment, don't worry. So I'm just going to take things out, give them a little rinse here. And into a tray. I did wash my sink before all of this, so don't worry if my meat is touching the sink. It is freshly washed. Into the tray. We're just going to rinse this bag out so it's a little nicer than the garbage. Steak number 1. Steak number 2. And again, we're just going to rinse these out so that it's nicer in the garbage. Yes, wife. You watching? なんか欲しい? 見るだけ? Probably should make sure everything's in the shop before I start. Well, put some fun in that. Salmon. Greninja. Richter. We have recently been playing a little bit of Smash Brothers. Greninja は日本語でなんて? Gekkoga. So yeah, we're playing it in English, so she has to learn all the English names of like the Pokemon and stuff, which are different in some cases, the same in some cases. So for the salmon, we are going to give it a little pat dry. We don't need all that extra water on there. Hit it with a little bit of salt. And that's it. I might hit it with a paper towel one more time before we grill. Next, Montreal steak seasoning. The little shaker side never works, so we always just use the spoon side. It'll be fine. Work it in a little bit. You got to work it, work it. There's that ready to go. Next, we're going to bake some potatoes. Actually, these little guys, I might slice some potatoes. Just giving them a little wash as you get a close-up of my back. You've already seen the sink, but I guess you can come where the action is. We just kind of lightly wash our potatoes off here. Rinse, I guess, more accurately. The dirty one. It almost thinks they grow in the dirt. Need a little more soup. Just since we were doing raw meat. got some bread from Adam Ragusia's pizza crust recipe from many years ago. I made 2 pizzas with it already. It makes 4. Made 2 pizzas with it already. Had it like just as I just put it under the broiler this morning. And normally I would do honey and butter, but my honey is crystallized. So we did maple syrup and butter. More savory than like a normal American pancake, but nice yeasty action going on there. Very delicious. Gonna move that forward so it actually drains. Yeah, baked potatoes. We're just going to simply, I like to hit it with a little bit of salt first. Put in the potatoes. Hit the top with some salt. That's it. Give them a little roll. And they're ready to go on the grill. I also like to do, big guy. I also like to do sweet potatoes this way. No salt on the sweet potatoes usually. But, you know, more or less the same principle. In Japanese izakaya, which are like kind of a more alcohol-focused bar and grill situation. I mean, it's a restaurant. But a lot of focus on small plates and drinking. They usually have what's called jagabata. Jaga, it comes from jagaimo, which is this type of potato. And they are just steamed or, I don't know, microwave for all I know. Potato, as it is right now, with butter. They usually just cut a little plus sign into it, basically, make it easier to eat. They're fantastic. You may notice that these potatoes look awfully small. That's just common in Japan. Like, if you're from the US or the UK, maybe you're used to fairly large potatoes, like especially in the US, what I do for a baked potato, a jacket potato in the UK. I'm used to like big potatoes. I have seen them here a couple of times, and since we're farming, I would love to get into growing them, but I have to find seed potato, and especially since I started late this year, it's looking a little doubtful. So we'll wrap these guys up. Nothing precious or particular here. It's just, we want to keep the steam in, let it steam from all sides. There we go. You can hang out on top of the meat. We'll give things a quick wipe down. Sometimes I also like to do kabocha, which is sometimes called Japanese pumpkin. It's kabocha squash, just kabocha in Japanese. And we can just put some olive oil on that, put it on the grill. It's delicious. Another neat, I guess, trick about Japanese houses, a lot of them have this, which is underfloor storage, so slightly cooler. You can see my sprouting onion collection. I don't know what to do about those. I pulled out a few, put them in the fridge, and one of the boxes, and we have garlic and one of said kabocha squash. So I thought I was going to make a video cleaning up the shop. It was far more uninteresting than I had anticipated. There's just less here. That blue tarp and stuff that covered all of that was like just big. You can see my failure over here to refold this ladder. We were playing the what do all of the light switches do games last night. My wife wants to learn to drive the tractor, so I was trying to turn that light on. That light is right there. And I'm like, well, what the hell does that switch do? There's fan. There's ventilation up there. So that's good, because I think I want to start putting plants in here. So north is that way. So the house is south facing, which presents problem. No light. I mean, I get whatever light comes up here, so I'll get like noon. So I also yesterday off camera cleaned. Our carport is made of the same plastic stuff, sheeting. I pressure washed the carport, and it's much clearer now, but I need to pressure wash this roof, but I'm also incredibly scared to get on that roof. 105 kilograms of me. I don't think the roof was meant to handle a big boy like that. So, back to the barbecue. But first, keep those batteries charged. Everything has to sing in Japan. It's a rule. It's the law. So I don't know how many of you may have seen a battery-powered lawnmower. This is mine, bought after a whole like 15 minutes of research. More than that. I kind of wish I had gotten gasoline. These all take 18 volt Makita batteries, by the way. Kind of wish I had gotten gasoline at this stage. We only have one earth, and I'm trying to be nice to it. But because of how thick, it's not grass. I don't even know what it's called, what grows here. We have a combination of something that's in the same like species as beans that are very viney that grow everywhere, and then we have something that looks almost like tiny little pine trees. They're not. I mean, I'll try to remember to go look at that later, figure out what those are, but they're super annoying. Yep, still a grill. You can see I'm not fully cleaned up yet, but we're better than we were. Don't worry, I'll be washing those tongs here in a bit. This is a big box of binchotan, which is a type of charcoal. Don't think we need a lot for today. Might make sense to actually use those tongs. I think definitely a little habit today. Open up one of the doors for a little bit of ventilation. Get a little bit cooler in here maybe. Put a couple of the bigger ones in here. Maybe. Get them going. I wanted to get this started earlier, but the wind just would not die down. So this is kind of where we're at the moment. This is the paper that Amazon likes to use as packing material, and it actually works great for starting my fires. see my grill. All up in my grill, as they say. Open that guy up. Open that guy up. It's a lot of ash. How did I do that? There we go. Hello, Nyankiro. Nothing special here, just a charcoal starter, chimney starter. It's pretty windy today, so we'll see if it immediately goes out or not. We have the audience. Nyankiro. I think somebody thinks they're getting food. We're trying to raise a bilingual cat. I speak to the cat in English and Japanese. Oh, another one of the fan clubs here. Meow. Got a lot to talk about there, don't you, buddy? It's not out already. I'm a little dubious as to how well this is going to work with the wind today. For here, this isn't super windy. I think it's supposed to be 3 or 4 meters per second right now. But the forecast is kind of a lie. We get gusts that are much stronger than that here. I actually ordered a weather station. Meow. That upper part started as well. A little bit of a fire sandwich. Maybe. I think it might be producing enough CO2 and CO that it's yeah, it wants to smolder rather than burn. I think it's getting suffocated by the smoke coming up. You will. Yes, we appreciate your commentary there, bud. While we wait, just for safety's sake, I'll spray things down a little bit here. We're supposed to have rain in a couple of days. Oops, I got your feet wet. Good enough. Oh yeah, I feel heat. Really curious as to what makes noise over there sometimes, other than the wind. So if this fails, I also have another type of charcoal. It's kind of similar to a charcoal briquette, but with like a bit of cardboard on the outside. We can use that. I don't feel heat anymore. Tiny little bit of heat. Cannot make up its mind. I know this is riveting coverage, but I figure you could enjoy some sounds. Just the Japanese countryside. There's a rooster that's crowing. A little stream babbling behind. The crackling of the fire. I don't want to be grilling when it's dark, so we're gonna move on to plan B. Normally I'm more patient than this and just walk away from it. So yeah, this is what I was talking about. I think you can, maybe you can see it. Oh, this is just one little section. It's probably a brick roughly that long. We'll get him going. And that should definitely speed things along for today. Normally I like to start the grill around like 3 or 4 in the afternoon, depending upon how much I want to let the coals burn down. If I'm doing something more long hour, like multi-hour cook, or something more over hot coals, or a really hot grill. But yeah, today, I'm not a huge nap person, but today was definitely a napping sort of day. I woke up at 5:30, probably a little bit before that. And my body was just not having it today. Got up, made breakfast, and then made it to like 10 a.m. I think. And it was back to sleep for a while. Come on. There we go. That's what that's supposed to look like. So yeah, we will be back later. All right. Well, it took a couple of goes, but we made it. It really did not want to start today. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Already smells amazing. May throw a little bit more charcoal in here. We'll see. Well, I'm surprised that, at least in the camera, it still looks pretty light. So we've got our pork loins, and we've got 2 cheap steaks. Cheap. Air quotes, cheap. I started them over on the hot side. I've moved them over to the cooler side. And you may say, oh, you're cooking it too much, you're burning it. We're not going to eat these today. Battery's charged. I don't know if you can hear Fearley's playing over there. Yeah, we're not going to eat these today. So I'm cooking them a bit more than I would normally. I have some chili that I cooked in a freezer. I didn't have any meat that day. It's just vegetarian chili, so I think we may cut up one of these steaks, put it in there. Might do steak and eggs for breakfast, though. Thankfully for Costco, we have American-style bacon, which is very hard to find in Japan. The bacon here is usually pre-boiled. It doesn't get crispy. The fat's already mostly rendered out. So, to me, it doesn't have a great texture. It's still good, don't get me wrong. It's just, if you want bacon like in the American, for Brits, I guess it would be streaky bacon, maybe? Or I should say if it is in the UK, not just Brits. So that's a little different. But, yeah. These will go in different food, and this is what we'll eat this week. If I can, I like to grill once a week and just grill all of our meat for the week. You shouldn't keep it more than 3 days, it's fine. 0 problems. I'm sure somebody in the comments might have noticed my eggs on the counter. You know, if the eggs don't start in the refrigerator, you can keep them out generally. Japan, kind of like the US, does wash eggs, but they have a much more strict process here. I believe if you're commercially raising chickens that antibiotics are required, based on the bit of reading that I did. Somebody is welcome to fact check me on that. If we wanted to raise chickens, we could. We can butcher our own chickens, but you can butcher your own fowl for personal consumption, not for sale. You can butcher your own fowl. I think donkeys, but not sheep. Or, sorry, I said donkeys. You can do goats, I think. A lot of people in Okinawa also have their own goats, I noticed when I was out there. So you can butcher your own birds, definitely. Probably goats, but not cow, not sheep, not horse. We eat horse meat here. I don't usually, but not sheep, horse, cow, pig. I think there's one other one. Even for personal consumption, you cannot butcher them, and people have gotten in legal trouble for doing so. And that's not what I want to do. If you hunt, you can butcher wild boar, arguably pig, but wild boar you can do. Bear, you can butcher yourself. I have eaten raw bear heart here, just a tiny little piece. That was a very interesting experience. But we'll let this keep cooking and come back later, hopefully, if I still have battery. On a dark and scary night. Ooh. So, as you can see, we're still grilling. I think we'll have the salmon tonight. I don't like to cook the fish and keep it for too long. But, yeah, we got some salmon going. And potatoes are still potating. I don't have... How they're getting there. I don't have the top on, so they're not getting oven-like heat. But after the fish, I have one more experiment that I want to bring you along with. 4. Okay, you can see. So one thing I want to learn how to do is to make bread on a grill if I need to. I know some people make pizza, putting it directly, if I'm not outsmarted by tinfoil, aluminum foil. They make pizza directly on the grill grates. Why are you all bound up? I'm not brave enough to do it directly on the grates. So we're going to put down foil. We're going to try to make ourselves a little pizza bread on the foil. So we've got our dough, which is deflating before your very eyes. She's stretchy. We're going to try to get this stretched round. It is a little over fermented. We're going to see if we can make ourselves a little pizza. I don't know how this is going to turn out. Our potatoes are there. So we'll put the lid on and see where we get here. Grill. And here are the final results. It's a lot. I normally don't eat this much this late at night. It's almost 9 p.m. But grilling took longer than expected. But we have the potato that we cooked on the grill, salmon, bread that we cooked on the grill, and some frozen broccoli because I didn't have a chance to grow my own.